Good morning, Soul Embodiment Tribe. Bridget Patton here with Soul Massages. And I just wanted to touch base a little bit on relationships. And these relationships, it doesn't matter if it's relationships with clients, family, friends, whatever. All relationships have something to do with your relationship with yourself. And I actually, because this can be confusing, I like to actually call it that it's your relationship with your source, with the source that's within you. And that helps to determine whether a relationship that you're describing is really with you or if it's with a projection that you're carrying around with you, a distortion that you're carrying around from a relationship that you've had. And so we tend to do that. We tend to carry around expectations that other people have had of us, opinions, judgments. It's our human nature. It's the way our brain is wired in order to survive. But in order to get rid of that, I don't want to call it an instinct, but programming, we have to learn how to rewire our survival mechanisms in our mind so that we can actually surrender to that higher power. Sort of getting off track, but when it comes to relationships, if you're experiencing that chaos or turbulence or whatever it is, it's because at some point along the relationship, one of you or both of you, it's always a mirror, it's always a reflection, stopped being the person that they were. And so to get back to that, contrast comes up, conflict comes up in order to get back to that inner being that you are, the person that you actually are, not your human version, but the version of you that's embodied by your soul, by your spirit. And so when you're not fully connected to that inner source, that inner being, and you're believing things about yourself that aren't true, you're hiding a part of yourself. This is how you can tell if you are hiding a part of yourself. If you're making excuses, and these are excuses, that somebody can't handle you or can't take you at your full version, or, that somebody can't handle the truth that you have to speak or whatever it is, that's how you can tell you're hiding, because you're making an excuse about why you can't be yourself. And if that's happening, then that's a clue that you aren't being the largest version of yourself. And so a self-sabotaging cycle begins to happen. You will continuously attract things in order to battle and succeed and win. But really, it's just a looping pattern. You aren't really winning anything. You're just in a loop of going through the same conflict over and over again. And that's because you haven't found the real solution, the actual breakthrough that will take you to that next level. So when you're in a relationship and you're hiding a part of yourself and you can feel it in your body when you shrink down and you don't say that thing that you thought you needed to say, or you aren't that person that you felt you needed to be. If you're doing that in any aspect of your life, then it's going to show up in your other relationships eventually at some point, because that's the inevitable trajectory. Your inner being isn't going to allow that trajectory, because all that's going to happen is you're going to get further and further away from your truth. So the pressure is going to get more and more intense. When you have wisdom to share, when you can see things that other people can't see, and you aren't sharing that message and you aren't delivering it effectively, conflict is going to come up. Turbulence is going to come up. Pressure. And it has to happen so you can see what's not working. Because when things aren't working, that means that you have gotten a belief system in your head at some point, somewhere, from someone that is making you believe something that isn't true about yourself, that isn't true about your abilities and your power. And we use these excuses, the ego does, because we want to fit in. We want to be the same. And that's where that survival mechanism comes in. Because when we're the same and we fit in, then we have the support of the community. But our higher self knows that your true community and your true tribe will emerge when you are being fully authentic with yourself, when you're continuously putting in the inner work so that you can connect with yourself at a deeper level and really stand out and be who you are, so that you can make that change. You can be the change because you are demonstrating that in every area of your life. So if there's any area of your life that you're feeling you're hiding and that you don't want to be that highest version of yourself, that's evidence to you that you're not being fully authentic to you, and that something is going to bubble up down this trajectory, because your inner being will not allow that to continue to happen. It defeats the purpose of our mission here and why we're here, and that is to be the fullest expression of our soul in our human bodies. And when we're not doing that, when we're not honoring our emotions and the messages that are coming in, and we're not sharing them and just being brave enough to share them, in every area of life, that's when those conflicts come up. That's when that turbulence comes up, because it's revealing that something's not working, that something needs to change, needs to shift. And so again, you guys know how to reach out to me if you're ready to take that leap and start to get dialed in on those messages, so you can have clarity and efficiency, and you can accelerate the process and not get stuck in those continuous loops. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video. Mwah. I love you guys.